Chapter 2 of The Seven Spiritual Laws for Parents by Deepak Chopra. Part 2 has the practicing of the seven spiritual laws masters. It starts with a beautiful quote. There are two lasting bequests we can hope to give our children. One of these is roots, the other wings. Hotting Carter. So, starting when your children are very young, you can integrate the seven spiritual laws into your family routine. If this is done naturally, without forcing or pressure, your children will grow up with living examples of how spirit makes life successful. A child's understanding of the meaning of the laws will grow with time. Remember that children mainly learn from what you are, not what you say. Your own practice is always the greatest positive influence. Children need you as a model and example in that sense. Watching you is their practice from very early on. If they see you growing and changing and finding more meaning and joy in your life, the expression being in harmony with the universe takes a practical form. They will want that for themselves, even if they don't yet grasp the principles yet. In the following pages, I have outlined a day by day program for the family. Each day of the family week is devoted to a single law, beginning with Sunday and the law of pure potentiality. In our family, we spend some time every day discussing the meaning of a law, and we agree to look for examples of how that law worked for us that day. In general, all spiritual practice is centered in alertness just by paying attention to the seven spiritual laws. You invoke their organizing power in your life. Each day's routine also contains three activities that help to focus your attention on the law for that day. On Sunday, the three activities are silent meditation, communion, communion with nature, and the practice of non judgment. Everyone in the family, children, and parents agrees to spend a little time on these activities. It is best if this time shared with the whole family. All in all, these three activities don't take more than a few minutes, at most half an hour. Paying attention isn't a matter of time. Anyway, it's a matter of using your awareness. It can take a split second to notice something beautiful. It takes no time at all to stop judging others as right or wrong. The culmination of each day is dinner time, when we all talk about what we have done and observed and learned during the day. This discussion is casual and unforced. Whoever wants to speak up does, is in as few or as many words as feel comfortable. At the beginning, while the seven spiritual laws are new, as a parent, you may have to do a little coaxing to encourage your children to comment, but in very short order, they will catch on. After all, this is their time to be heard, to have you pay attention to them in a wholly positive way. Masters, in this part 2, the author Deepak Chopra is giving us some simple activities to connect with kids and make the spiritual law very, very understandable to them. Instead of using potentiality, simply blend our way. Like when we change our way, when we live in harmony with life, with the nature, they will see, the children will see and learn. Instead of what we say, they learn from how we are. And the author is asking to spend family time, and dinner time is one of the best time where they can talk. And all the activities he's suggesting, it won't take more than half an hour. Like simple meditation, communion with nature, and practicing non-judgment. It is our intention which does matters. And he is giving more explanation on each each law, and he's suggesting take one law per day. And he starts with Sunday. Sunday, the first law. And the first law is pure potentiality. The law of pure potentiality. Let's go ahead. Sunday. Sunday is the day of pure potentiality. Today, we tell our children everything is possible, no matter what. On Sunday, we agree as parents to do the following things with our children. First thing, lead them in a few minutes of silent meditation. Second, inspire them to appreciate the beauty and wonder of nature. Third, show them the hidden possibilities in familiar situations. Wonderful activities, masters. The continuation goes with a quote. Anyone can count the seeds in an apple. No one can count the apples in a seed, said by anonymous person. That's a wonderful quote. It shows the potential of a seed when not restricted and infinite potential of each and every one. Let's continue. On Sunday, the family pays attention to the idea that everything is possible. The field where everything is possible is spirit. This is our source. Within everyone is the seed of creativity that can grow in any direction. Nothing limits us except ourselves. For the trust aspect of each person is unbounded potential. This is very important point, masters. When we try something new with our children, first thing is we prejudge them. We first say they will not show interest, or it's waste of time. I have tried all, it's not going to work. So, first thing, we have that notion and we emit that vibration. That is what kids catch, that vibration, that energy. That will work on them more than our um, the rules which are saying. So here the author is suggesting to the, the trust, the truest aspect of each person is unbounded potential. By connecting with our source, we activate all possibilities in daily life. In practice, this means that we all take time to experience the silent field of pure awareness. Children need to learn that silence is the home of spirit. All other voices speak out loud, but spirit communicates without making a sound. A great point. When we can instill this in our kids' mind, for any issue, any problem, they are seeking a solution, they will go into silence. That is what we as an adult are learning through meditation, unlearning what we have learned as a child. But if we can project this from childhood to our kids, they will automatically go into silence to seek solution. And when the silent gives the answer, silence, that is when the spirit or the god, the source, whatever we can call them, if the solution is coming from the source, that is the best. So let's go forward. Being in touch with the field of all possibilities means that you experience self referral. That is, you look within for guidance. Self referral brings fulfillment of the spirit that cannot be achieved by material success. The reason we want success is to reach our potential for happiness and wisdom, not just our potential to earn and acquire. Sunday is a good day to ground the whole week on such beliefs. With children, using the vocabulary of the heart is often more effective than using abstract words like potentiality. Listen to your heart. Your heart knows is a good beginning, along with sentences like this. Just as here, the author is suggesting not to use abstract words. We may know the truest of the truth, the highest of the wisdom, but when we communicate to our children, make it as simple as possible. And he's giving that, saying that Heart, if we talk in terms of heart and that they connect more, they connect more. And he's suggesting few more sentences here. Set your heart on being all you can be. Set your heart on being all you can be. In your heart, anything is possible. In your heart, anything is possible. In your heart, you know things are going to work out for the best. In your heart, you know things are going to work out for the best. If you're if you're pure of heart, you can bring anything to you. If you're pure of heart, you can bring anything to you. No matter what seems to be going on around you, in your heart, you will know that you can do it. No matter what seems to be going on around you, in your heart, you will know that you can do it. These beautiful sentences, if we need to say it to each and every kid, so that they look back their heart and look for guidance. It's like it's like affirmations, what we do. When they do these affirmations, when they know this wisdom, it will be in their subconscious mind, deep rooted. And as an adult, whenever, not only as adult, but growing up, whenever they need, this voice will be there with them. This voice will go inside them. That will show them the clarity, self-talk kind of thing. Next, you should also make clear that heart isn't just another word for emotions. The heart is a spiritual center. It contains silence and wisdom. Certainly, the truest emotions, such as love and compassion, arise from this source, but we want our children to locate the heart as a place where their sense of I am resides. This is the seed of inspirations from which all possibilities flow. It is our connection to the field of pure potential. No one is a success who doesn't feel success in his or her own heart. Ah, author is saying this heart is not just a bunch of another word of emotions. It is, it contains silence and wisdom. So when we go and the truest of the emotions, such as love and compassion, and this is the source and the infinite possibilities. Here he is also saying, no one is a success who doesn't feel success in his own, in his or her hearts of heart. So beautiful. Continuation. Sunday with the children. The three activities for Sunday are meditating, appreciating nature's wonder and beauty, and learning to see new possibilities in familiar situations. First, adults in the family should practice a period of silent meditation lasting 15 to 20 minutes in the morning and afternoon. Young children can be nurtured in this practice gradually. From the time your children are the age of 6 or 7, begin to teach them that a few minutes of being alone and quiet every day is good. Before this age, do not make any attempt to suppress your children's natural energy and enthusiasm. Inner silence is a delicate experience that cannot blossom until the nervous system has begun to mature. Until your children are age 12 or so, it is enough just to set a personal example rather than insist that meditation become part of daily routine. Wait for relaxed opportunities to invite a child to sit still with you, preferably while you are doing your own meditation, and breathe quietly with eyes closed. Ask her to feel the breath as it softly goes in and out. An older child might be asked to visualize the breath as a soft blue white light going in and out of the nostrils. Say something encouraging, indicating that you enjoy your own meditation is a good way to provide incentive. 5 minutes of the simple breathing exercise is enough at the outset. Increase to 15 by age 10 to 12. Don't be impatient if your child doesn't take to sitting still every time you invite him. If all you get is fidgeting, just have him go out while you continue your meditation. The example of your own enjoyment will draw your child into the practice naturally. What should your own meditation practice be? I advocate either the breathing meditation just described or primordial sound meditation. This is taught at the Chopra Center for Wellbeing as well as by the teachers trained there. You can call the center at Lojala, California to locate a qualified teacher in your area. Meditation without knowledge loses half its value. Therefore, whatever you can say to your children about the benefits of meditation will be extremely encouraging. Inner silence promotes clarity of mind. It makes us value our inner world. It trains us to go inside to the source of peace and inspiration when we are faced with problems and challenges. Wonderful. Here, author has said about the breathing exercise, and no matter, no, it depends on the age also. He is asking not to force kids below 6 and above 6, like 10 to 15 minutes meditation is enough. You don't have to force them. If they want to sit, they can sit. It is how beautifully we enjoy the meditation will draw them close to the meditation. It's not our rule or forcing them. How we enjoy the meditation will set an example for them and draw them to sit in meditation. And if they are fidgeting around, gently ask them to leave and come back. And if they when they observe us so deeply in meditation, I have experienced as masters, my not all kids will sit for meditation. I've asked them to open their eyes sometimes, especially for ADHD kids and all. If they close their eyes, they feel so anxiety. Like they have that anxiousness. They can't close their eyes for a few minutes. So gently, what I used to do is use a small water fountain, small water fountain, portable one with Buddha statue in it with lights changing colors. So I asked to sit that kid for 1 minute, like 1 minute, close your eyes, then open your eyes, see the water, observe the water flowing, changing colors, and then close your eyes for 1 minute. If you're not able to, if you feel like moving or opening your eyes, again open the eyes. Just don't see anything else. Just again see water and observe whatever you want in that water fountain, color changing or the structure of the structure of the Buddha there, and what mudra he was holding. Whatever you want to observe, but only in that water fountain. Only there. Only one condition is that only the water fountain. You don't go for, you don't look around in the room. You don't look around the people. You just observe the water fountain. And when, again, close for 1 minute. So eventually it started with like 1 minute, 1 minute, 2 minutes. Now the kid can meditate about 20 minutes without opening the eyes. So all we have to do is being patient. Let's continue, masters. And author is also asking to provide some incentives for them to encourage sitting quietly, meditation, and music is one good source. And and Patriji also said, you can you can bribe kids to meditate, but do not force them. Yes, just like you can play extra half an hour. We go to a park or something they like. Okay, let's continue, masters. Nature breathes the breath of spirit. Its beauty reflects our soul. Wonder at being here. So, when you take time to go out in a natural setting, walking in the park, hiking a natural nature trail, picnicking at the beach, or in the mountains, infinite creativity can be seen in every teeny flower. I love the saying, what God can give us is limited only by our ability to appreciate His gifts. I repeat, what God can give us is limited only by our ability to appreciate His gifts. In terms of success, this is totally true. You can see as far as your vision permits. Nature is the perfect place to stretch your horizons. Children love to be inspired by natural world wonders, and you can support the experience by pointing out how expanded and free nature makes us feel. The sense of I can do that anything wells up naturally when you contemplate the vast open sky or the glories of towering mountains range. People who focus on the physical aspect of nature tend to dwell on how small and insignificant human beings seem to be on nature's vast scale. But this isn't true on spiritual plane. Spiritually, the infinite vistas of the natural world make us feel that we can be at one with infinity, the power of nature. Then always nature teaches masters. The vastness of nature teaches us we can do anything. Anything is possible. The mountains, the glories of the mountain ranges, the infinite possibilities all around and expanded. And a wonderful point author says, how are we limiting our gifts from God when we fail to appreciate the ability, when we fail to appreciate the gifts from God, that is when we limit the gifts from God. Beautifully, he said, what God can give us is limited only by our ability to appreciate his gifts. Great. Let's continue, masters. The third point. Every second of time is a doorway to unbounded possibilities. Yet, if you are not open to them, these possibilities shrink. It's important, therefore, to teach children to reach for something new in a well known situation. What does it take to see something new? What does it take to see new things? You need insight and perceptiveness, freedom from judgment, and willingness to be open. Success hinges on all these things, and you will be teaching all of them whenever you pose the simple question. Is there another way of looking at this? Yes. There always is. For example, a friend of mine was invited to dinner recently. At the doorstep, he was told not to mind Claudia, the youngest child in the family. If she didn't eat, we have problems with her. We have problems with her. She's 6 and she's just stubborn about not eating, the parents said. When my friend sat down to dinner, Claudia immediately went into her pattern of I don't like this. What is it? And so on. A well worn routine that the parents greeted with. Nothing can be done about it. In other words, everyone concerned was voicing those thoughts that keep us imprisoned in old, uncreative patterns. Masters, please closely observe this example. How Claudia, a 6-year-old child, when while entering itself, the parent said that do not mind her about her. She has a bad eating habit. So Already they have set up a situation. Already they have set up the energy that she wouldn't agree. And at the dinner table, she exactly did the same thing. Let's continue. What's happening? On sheer impulse, my friend leaned over to Claudia and whispered, "That food on your plate looks so good. I want it for myself." He drew a line down the center of her plate with his knife. "Okay, everything on this side of the line is mine, and you can't touch it, no matter what." This was all said in playful tone. So he drew a line on the plate and said, "I like it. And this side of the plate is mine. You can't touch it." In a playful tone, he said to Claudia. Claudia looked wide eyed. She had always faced dinner as a trial, a power struggle with her parents. Now, my friend was making it into a game. He looked away and said in a loud voice, "Claudia's not eating my food, is she? She wouldn't do that, would she?" Of course, Claudia couldn't help but eat everything on his side of her plate as fast as possible. The temptation to play the game was just too great. This is a good example of how reframing a situation allowed everyone, parents included, to break through old barriers. So, masters, here the parent's friend had created, he observed the old pattern because our repeated thoughts are creating that old pattern. When he played the game that you're not going to touch this part of the plate, Claudia was so excited to reach to the other part of the plate and eat it all by herself. She was excited. She was no more in that old pattern. And see how possibly it happened. Reframing the situation instead of looking onto the problem, reframing the situation helped solve it. Without noticing it, each of us imposes limits on the way we perceive the world. We are faced with infinite, boundless possibilities, yet we don't seize them, or we seize them very rarely because our past condition is always forcing us to pass judgment. Our minds say, I don't like it. I can't understand it. I already know all about it. It's wrong or bad or it's boring. Nothing can be done about it. This is a good, these are the sentences our minds say to see that old pattern, passing judgments. So whenever we pass judgments, our mind will be saying all these things. So let's continue. This is a good day to catch yourself and your children when you make one of these statements out loud. They happen all the time. Someone or something crosses our path, and we instantly pass judgment, which seals off any flow of new possibilities. Therefore, when you notice even a single instance shift your perception, ask your children to look for some new quality in themselves or someone else. Ask for a stretch of imagination, invite fantasy, experimentation, openness. This is regarding the part three of the activity masters, the judgment. It could be simple judgment on others and it could be simple judgment on us. Our fears will come as like, I don't like it. I don't like to be in public. First, as we impose those judgment on ourselves, hiding away the emotions or the root of it. And here the author is suggesting to find with the instance you judge it, find it and be aware of it and ask your children also to do that. Instead of, for children, instead of being the entire day, ask them like morning 2 hours, morning 1 hour, or from the time when we go from here to the shopping and back, what are the judgments? Or something like that. You can make it as a play and you can ask them to list it down or tell it right away. So let's continue, masters. If you can be the teacher of this thing only, you will do more for your children's success than you could be by any other means. Success is synonymous with grasping opportunities others have passed by. Once older children are ready for more abstract concepts, it's extremely valuable to teach non judgment. Non judgment means not labeling other people and their ways, right or wrong. It is the first step towards the mature attitudes of acceptance, non-violence, and compassion for love, life. So when we be the non-judgmental, when we not say right and wrong, masters, that's a step, first step towards mature attitudes for acceptance and non-violence for our kids' life with compassion for life. Continuation. Passing judgment is not part of spiritual person's approach to life. We all project negativity onto other people, but we do this because we confuse our emotional reactions with reality. If people make us angry, distressed, afraid, or so on, we feel that this negativity is their responsibility. Again, masters, I'm repeating. If people make us angry, distressed, afraid, and so on, we feel that this negativity is their responsibility. Spiritually, the law of pure potentiality tells us that no one can be labeled or judged because life is all possibilities. Everything is inside ourselves. Nothing in our nature can be created or destroyed by someone. Wonderfully said, Masters. Nothing in our nature can be created or destroyed by someone out there. So when we blame someone for taking the responsibility for our emotions, we are spiritually wrong. We are wrong. It is it is us who allowed it to happen. We had infinite possibilities and we chose to be sad. We chose to be in fear. We chose to be the other vibration. Masters, author is saying beautiful points here in short sentences. Let's continue. The very person who makes you angry or afraid can have the opposite effect on someone else. So it is worth setting aside some time on this day to see everyone in the light of love, to hold no judgment, to call no one bad or wrong. Non judgment isn't easy to communicate to young children. Even a simple sentence like, don't say like your brother is wrong. A simple sentence, when we say this, don't say your little brother is wrong, some becomes confusing since it can easily be interpreted as a reprimand. Anytime you use the word don't or stop or no, you are passing your own judgments. It's far better to take a positive approach. Ask your child to find one good thing or one lovable thing in another child. Make the task for the day and then discuss it at dinner. Beautifully said. Masters, here the author is saying, don't say, we don't have to confuse our kids. We usually say, don't judge your kid. Don't judge your little sister. Or don't say your little brother is wrong. So instead of saying don't, no, and stop, you can say, you can have a positive approach. You can ask them to find one good, lovable thing about the other child and discuss them over the dinner. So, in truth, continuation, masters, in truth, none of us should outgrow this simple game. But you can start to ask older children to take responsibility for how they feel. This means that they begin to learn the difference between you did something that made me mad and angry, and I have angry feelings. I want to deal with myself. So we can ask them, like in the sentence, masters, the author is saying, this means that they begin to learn the difference between you did something that made me mad. Okay, instead of saying you did something that made me mad, we can say, I have angry feelings. I want to deal with myself. So whatever they did, I have the anger because we are angry. They did something. It's up to them. but we are angry for their actions. So you're dealing with that. So they will understand. So they will infer the meaning of it. So don't push on this front. However, since it takes a lifetime to grow into mature responsibility for how we feel, projection is a powerful force. But if you teach acceptance and tolerance, imparting the belief that everyone is doing the best they can and should be seen in that light, not as we expect them to behave, then you will be doing a great deal to teach the first law. So the projection is the powerful force, masters. We do what we do, and when it has to happen, it will happen. The, the reflection on the law of pure potentiality. So here's the reflection for the first law, the law of pure potentiality. Masters, everything flows from the infinite source, which is God. God is part of every child, connecting every child with the source. I repeat, everything flows from the infinite source, which is God. God is part of every child, connecting every child with the source. Since God creates everything, a child should be encouraged to believe that everything is possible in his or her life. Since God creates everything, a child should be encouraged to believe that everything is possible in his or her life. Everyone can get in touch with the seed of God that is inside. Every day brings a chance to water that seed and watch it grow. Everyone can get in touch with the seed of God that is inside. Every day brings a chance to water that seed and watch it grow. When children feel small and weak, remind them that they are children of the universe. When children feel small and weak, remind them that they are children of the universe. Thank you.